Today we are joined in by someone special on our show, Brandverse. It is Panos Panay, who is in fact uniquely positioned at the intersection of high-end hardware and AI integration. He is visiting India first time as Amazon Devices leader, although in his previous role he has visited the country several times. He's catching up with his team. So let's find out more. Panos, first of all, welcome to the country.
Thank you. It's amazing being here.
And
I love
you
it.
mentioned how you're meeting up with the team members in India, first with the Chennai team, and now since we are catching up in Bangalore. What are some of the interactions that you're having with the teams over here?
It's pretty incredible. Like we have some. This is actually my India team. The India team that works on devices is the second largest hub of developers that we have working on our products. So when you get here, you have a lot of excited engineers, a lot of excited product makers. I'm excited, but you come here. We look at the demo. We're at the hub of building for the future. Yeah. And we talk about it. We don't want to just build the future. These teams, we don't want to just build the future for India.
Sure.
We want to build the future with India. Yeah. And these teams are exactly that. I mean, they are building the future of AI.
Yeah.
And so what you do is you get into the labs, and we have over 100 labs here locally. You get into the labs, you get into the product. One of the things that's so important to me is product making and getting into every single detail to really bring the love into that product. And when you sit with the team in Chennai, and today, right when we're done, I'll be sitting with the team here in Bangalore, that's what it's about. Looking at the product, making decisions, and kind of pushing to the future. Any
interesting breakthroughs, ideas, innovations that have come out of these conversations that you want to give us a sneak peek into?
It's like that's like a sneaky way about asking about what we're building. It's pretty good. I'll say this: there's a team here that is building for India by India.
Sure.
And what are they building now? Like the biggest focus we have is bringing Alexa Plus, which is AI in its true free form, open dialogue, able to deliver services in Alexa.
Sure.
And team is heavily focused on it. And the whole goal is how do we bring the amazing experiences of AI on Alexa Plus here to basically the local regions, and that's what the team's building.
Sure. And India, with its diversity and scale, is a very significant market for many tech players. What are some of the insights about the country and the consumers that you're gaining from your team?
Take two sides to this. One, we first talk about the team. The talent is extraordinary. And this has been true for the last 10 years of my career. I've been blessed to work with teams in Hyderabad and Chennai and now in Bangalore. The talent is not just exceptional, they're connected to the customer. And probably to your point, most importantly, they're not just connected to the global customer, they're connected to the customer here locally in India. And one of the big conversations we had yesterday is like, what are the insights about the local market, the Indian market, that we can build products specifically for this market? Now, one of the reasons I came here is how do we grow our devices business here in market? We have Amazon Leo coming to India soon. We have Alexa Plus coming to India soon. We have Kindle, we have Fire TV. These are critical products for my businesses that come together for here in India. And so what the team does is they basically, how do you sell? How do you connect to the customer? How do you target the right customers? And you can see the insights, not only in the team, but you can also see not only the insights in the team, but you can see how much they care about it.
Sure.
Which is, I think, is the core to making a great product.
Sure. And, when it comes to big bets on AI in the country, and also since we are catching up just ahead of this groundbreaking AI summit that...
Next week.
Next week, in a couple of days, in fact. So what are the big bets that Amazon Devices is making on AI? And, how does the AI market look like for, someone like you, who's been a tech leader for so many years?
One of the reasons I joined Amazon just a couple of years ago was because that intersection of AI connecting to people to make it more personal, make it more useful, meaningful in people's lives, we were right at the beginning of it.
Sure.
And it was so inspiring to see the investments that Amazon is making. And to your point, the investments in Bedrock or AWS, all the tool sets, our own, if you will, foundational model, and then ultimately right to the consumer's hands with Alexa and with other products within the portfolio. But those bets, and this is Amazon is known for its big bets and the patience in delivering those, which by the way, for me, it's like a dream. You know, it's so inspiring.
Sure.
Because these bets take time and patience. And I think we're just at the beginning, and we're just like quite literally in the infant stages of what AI is going to do for the world. And our focus is making AI for good and helping people get what they want to get done and making it useful. But it's so early. And so when you say big bets, they come with a few things. What are you betting on? And I gave you that landscape. But also being patient enough to hold the investment, to invest in the foundation, in the principles. I think you may know Amazon's committed to another 35 million through 35 billion through 2030 here in India. Part of that, a major part of that is AI infrastructure.
Sure.
And a part of that is delivering the AI solutions to the people.
I'm going to pick on one point that you made on, we are in the infant stages on what AI can do for the world. So what is the potential that you see? Like, what is the vision that you have or the foresight that you have with AI, let's say when it becomes a teenager for that matter?
I think...
Is it going to be an unruly teenager, hard to control?
I don't think so. I think this is the key, like understanding safety, understanding controls, and fundamentally making sure privacy and security are at the beginning in the forefront. And so when we say it's in infant stages, that foundation is important. But what will it do? Like ultimately, it can be your assistant. Like for anything and everything you want done. And when you think about Alexa Plus, let's just use that and the devices that are coming here to India. It's the assistant that's with you. You just speak what you're thinking. It gets what you want done. It manages your calendar. It can send your mails. It can update information. You can send messages to the people you love. But at all times, keeping you connected to what matters most and deliver meaningful production. So, and for me at home, it's a part of daily use. But of course, I'm a little bit more into the product because I have a little bit more of the future and from the teams building it. That's just not ready.
How is
it's not
it that
quite
you
ready.
use AI? I know we use it to sum up lengthy documents and come up with quick summaries, quick pointers for a few things with so much of data that we have to consume on a daily basis as journalists. How do you use AI in your daily life?
A bunch of different ways. One is I'm going to give you the most fun and the simple at the end, but first. For writing code, for just understanding details, maybe a lot like you use it, and like in the everyday, like the way you think about entering a prompt into a search box. However, like what this product's doing for me now is transforming things. Here's my example just from my plane ride. It's coming out here. I got a mail from my daughter that said she's trying to join the tennis team at school.
Sure.
Okay, now I'm hopeful. I'm hopeful. Okay, she's still learning. She's amazing. Hopefully she doesn't see this. She's amazing. But she sent me a mail, and in the mail there was just a list of all her tennis tournaments if she makes the team.
Sure.
And it had her tryouts. And as a busy father, this is when I say we want to make it meaningful or make it useful in your life. What did I do? I just sent it to Alexa. And Alexa populated the calendar and updated everything. Sent me a note back and said there are 2 conflicts. Do you want me to block your calendar for you for this? Do you want me to consider drive time from your home? Now, all of a sudden, it's got my calendar updated. It knows when I need to be there. It's giving me my drive times. And it's blocked my calendar just to make sure that my team can see these are the days that are important to me. I know that sounds like small, but I will tell you, when it gets that simple, it's very powerful. And so then today, I'm in my morning call at home. My wife asked me, what's the deal with Anna's schedule, Anastasia's schedule? I said, just ask Alexa, and that's all she did. And she just asked with her natural language, Alexa, what's happening? When are these tournaments?
That's a perfect example of how an AI assistant made your life easy and scheduled like an entire calendar for you. What is the potential of AI assistant going forward, and how can it shape-shift our lives, the way in which we are living today?
The more it gets to know you. The more it can shape-shift for you.
Isn't that dangerous?
No, not in the sense, because it's only what the information you want to give it. And so, of course you have to be cautious. You have to be thinking about, as you're building it foundationally, security, privacy, and the things that matter. And then you have to give the customer control, like 100% control. So then you choose. Here's the information you can keep. Here's the information you give it. And then even then, you can delete whatever you want. You don't want to hold it in memory. You do want to hold it in memory. But if the context matters, like as an example, I can do every time. One of my most frustrating things is where we're going to go for dinner. These are just simple personal examples. Where are we going for dinner? That is the argument in my household every Friday night. And there's a debate on where we should go and where we've been. What I've started to do is I just tell Alexa, every time I hear of a restaurant, I tell her, and then she logs it. Tell her again, log it. And then by Friday, I'm like, Alexa, what are the 5 restaurants that we talked about this week? Remind me. That's my choice. I've given Alexa that information. I've asked her to store it, put it in memory, and then give it back to me. And the more she understands me, then eventually, and what Alexa does now is, hey, since you mentioned this Indian restaurant, there's a new Indian restaurant in this area. Would you like to try that? Why don't you consider that as well? Now, all of a sudden, the intelligence moved from what I've given as point, command, and control to just kind of an ambient thought of, if you're interested, there's other options. Let me help you think about it. And because it knows me a little bit better, and that it knows I love Indian food, which, by the way, I love, which is one of the perks of being in the country.
I'm sure you're having a lot of it while you're in the country.
It doesn't stop. It doesn't stop. But those are simple examples.
Panos, help us understand, if 5 years from now, if we're meeting again.
Yeah, and let's hope we are.
Yes, let's hope we are. Will smartphones be the center of our gravity? Will it be the go-to device for us as the consumer going forward? Do you see that happening? Because already we are seeing so much of transition from, smartphone to something in front of our eyes, to something on our wrist. So do you see that?
What an incredible question, by the way. I've not been asked this specifically. It's always, will the phone exist or will it not? And I think it's silly to say the phone won't be here. It will be. Will it be centered to our lives? I think it'll be one of the foundational products that we use. Of course, like its core, that screen, the information you're getting. There are certain aspects of the phone, but I will tell you that in 5 years, I think the landscape of devices looks very, very different. And you will see, as these technologies come to bear and they come to fruition as they are, you pick the right form factor that serves you. It doesn't mean that the older form factor or the current form factor, like this Kindle or this Echo or your phone, go away. It just means they are better at what they're meant for, and there's a new device that might replace some of the jobs that have been done on it. And I believe, to answer your question, there will be a different set of devices, which I can't quite talk about today because that's probably your next question. But and when they do come, they will be complements to the phone, and the phone will be complement to those.
Okay. I have seen you on screen at a global launch event drop a device on the stage, which was, of course, Microsoft Surface. The world was shocked when you did that.
That was a long time ago. I don't know if I do that again, by the way. I was a little brazen. I don't know if I would. I don't.
When are we going to see a mic drop moment like that from you again?
Soon. How about that? That's my answer. Very soon. That was a fun time. That was a long time ago.
Yeah, but it's been 2 years since you transitioned from Microsoft to Amazon devices. What has that transition been like, and why did you make that switch?
First, it's been amazing. What an amazing company Amazon is. Microsoft's a great company as well, both incredible companies. But the learning, the leadership principles, the values that Amazon stands for, they're core to me and the way I lead. And so that connection felt so synergistic for me to be part of this company. And I'm humbled to be part of it. I represent a team that is an incredible group of product makers. It's large. We do a lot. But the thing that pushed me was that, the belief in what the company can be, what should be, and what it is, one, and then two, this AI transformation and the bets and investments that Amazon's making. Like I couldn't not lean right into it because the opportunities are so amazing.
Yeah, what are some of the bets, especially for the India market? You know, what are your investments for the country? Also, in terms of people, in terms of offices, how are you going forth with the India investment?
Yeah, so we've talked about the 35 billion through 2030. So this is the investment here. But big parts for me, if I can talk about, is this is one of the growing teams. Like I really want the teams in Chennai and Bangalore and Hyderabad are so important to the future of devices. That's one, just betting on people. But two, we're bringing Amazon Leo to India, which is very exciting. There's this digital divide. There's 200 plus million people that still aren't connected. We have this opportunity to serve the rural areas of India. For me, like this is maybe the most inspiring thing because I get to make a difference in people's lives. And we have this team that is so committed to this region, and they're making the investment specifically in Amazon Leo. And then Alexa.
Yeah.
Like with AI coming down on Alexa Plus, the opportunity to change people's lives, to speak every single language across the multiple states and the many languages, plus the dialect, understanding the local markets, and being able to bring that personality and AI into people's homes. This is like my dream scenario.
Sure.
And so,
and
pretty
how
exciting.
are you ensuring, because India has so many languages, like 20 plus official languages across the length and breadth.
But it's a lot
of the
more than
country.
that, right? It's so, because I've been looking at the dialects.
Including dialects.
There's
and
20 official.
Yeah, 20 plus official.
And then there's a lot more.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it's tricky.
It's tricky.
Yeah.
But how do you ensure that, someone from a rural India is using AI as effectively, let's say, as a techie from Bangalore? What role will Amazon devices play in that direction?
This is why we're taking our time to bring Alexa Plus to the market. It's literally this. How do we get the conversational aspect right, the understanding of the cultural aspects right, make sure the LLM, if you will, the AI is trained properly for that dialect, for that language. And now, like in the past, you're talking about Hindi and very, very few different languages and not quite the dialect. But in the future, we can bring the tones, the intonation, the dialect, and fundamentally the language to each region by studying and training and learning. And it takes a little bit of time.
Sure.
That's why we're not here yet. And we're working on it. And it'll be here soon, we're hoping. But I'm not going to ship it until we have that right. And that's one of my dreams.
Panos, you're someone, who has always spoken about the touch and feel of, like a device or a product in hand. In the world that we live in today, which is AI, how do you quantify, or let's say speak about like that titanium finish for AI, that premium grade finish for AI? Like what, in your opinion, that brings it forward? Because it's you cannot touch and feel it.
You can and you can't. And so remember, like it has to be delivered in a form. Yeah. No question. And so every device that it's being delivered on, and you can pick where it will be on your body or where it is in your pocket. First off, these have to be precious. They have to be meaningful to the people that are purchasing them. These are objects, and every single detail has to be thought through. I love that. The team is thinking about every single one of those details. But to your point, the nuance in the conversational control, the ability to say anything and make sure you're understood, the ability for the device and the person to connect in a way where the human is speaking to the device, and the device always understands the nuance in the conversation and then is able to deliver it back. Those level of details, they're almost as romantic, if you will, as the polish of maybe a radii on the edge of a device. Sure. And but I will tell you, to complete a product, it is the software, the hardware, and now, if you will, the foundational model. For these things have to come together. They have to come together seamlessly. And I am sure that if just the model is great and the device isn't, or just the device is beautiful and the model is not, customers aren't going to stick.
Absolutely. Now, this new world order coming in with AI, who's going to survive it? And, who's not going to survive it? Because just like, a couple of days ago, we saw something called as SaaSpocalypse. It took me a while to say that word, but SaaSpocalypse
Yeah, what is it?
when,
I didn't see this.
When people were selling IT stocks plunged in a big way, when Anthropic came up with like an AI model that that no longer needed the SaaS services provided by the traditional IT service providers. So including Indian IT stocks plunged, just a couple of days ago. So that was like an outcome of like a new product launched by Anthropic. So what else, what other apocalypse are we going to see? There is, of course, a people apocalypse that we have seen where people are losing jobs because it's been taken by efficiency that AI offers. But who's going to survive this new wave of AI world?
Well, what I can say is, as AI continues to evolve, it really is something that can help us do our jobs better. And it'll augment how we do our jobs. And as you lean into it and you upskill and you learn it better, it's not about who survives. It's just how you continue to get better. That's the way I look at it. And I think Amazon has a pretty good look at this. Like, how do we do it for everybody? How do we make sure we create enough tools that everybody can lean into it? How do we let other companies lean into AWS and Bedrock and what we're building so they have the models that they want to use? And ultimately, how do we deliver the endpoints that remember that everybody can use? And so, like you mentioned, the tech forward and the tech neurotic, but I think you need AI for everybody.
Yeah. And how can enterprises use it effectively? Because you're someone who's seen all the sides of the spectrum, the product side of the spectrum, the enterprise side of the business, of course, now with Amazon devices. So, how are enterprises going to survive, this new day and age of AI?
Same way. I mean, lean into it. Make sure you understand it. Use the tools that are available to you. Developers specifically. How they're using it today, I think it'll just continue to evolve to be able to help them write code, to be able to build the products that they want to build. And ultimately, how we tell our stories can also be leaned into. I think it's just it's a tool for everyone, but including enterprises.
Panos, also help us understand what is the vantage point that India has now when it comes to, future forward AI and, because as you mentioned, we are still in the infant stage and, we have such a large population, such a diverse population. What is India's vantage point in this AI race?
I mean, their core right now, and the way I see it is they're core to building it. This is it. And so the truth of understanding is building it. So it's not just AI for India, but by India, which I think is one of these truths right now. And I think that is the advantage, if you will, from now the tools will be set, and if you can build them locally for the.
Can an AI assistant truly replace like a personal assistant that, many of these CXOs and CEOs are used to having in their lives?
I love it. No, I don't think so. I don't think so. No, I don't. But I do think it augments.
Yeah.
It can pick up things that you just maybe make it simpler and easier in everyday life. But I do think it starts to make the world a better place in that way.
Thank you so much, Panos. Thanks for joining us. I'm sorry we're short of time right now, but thank you so much for joining us.
Appreciate it. Thank you for the time.